Hello YouTube, this is the Pokemon Enigmatic Skyfire. It is. Welcome everybody to a very interesting, very interesting Pokemon Black and White Wi-Fi battle video. And trust me, you're gonna like what you see. Well, in a sense, it didn't start off good, but hey, it did actually end as interesting as I want to say. Anyways, the battle this time is against LUV from the Zot Pokemon Wi-Fi room. And the reason I say this is interesting because even though his team is, look at that, all OU. Well, okay, I had one in that Volcarona, but it really didn't do much. I was just trying to see if I could actually win against all OUs with the team I have. My teams are random anyway, just go figure. I looked at his team, and I saw that Politoed. I figured to myself, he must be using a rain team, but I didn't know what he's going to start off with. I should have realized he was going to start off with Politoed because he always likes to start the rain with the drizzle. I randomly brought in my Burton, that's my Espeon, and yes, this Burton is the EV that I had, but it turned into actually an Espeon because I had wanted to breed for Magic Bounce, but I actually got it through the Dream World for an actual Magic Bounce Espeon level 10. So anyways, I went for a Calm Mind. Politoed goes for Scarlet Magly and there's a Burn. Like, really? And then he switches into Ferrothorn. What kind of a name is that? Never mind that. I went for a Psych Shock. It didn't take that much, so I'm like, I'm just going to go ahead and go for this Death Spot because I really didn't know what Ferrothorn was going to do. I just went for a Calm Mind. I was thinking it was going to do like Spikes or something like that, but it didn't. I saw the power up. I'm like, this is not a good start because what I expected was for Spikes, Stealth Rock, and stuff like that. That's one of the reason why I put in Espeon was to prevent all those entry hazards. I usually do that with someone like 30 Mile here. Speaking of 30 Mile, that's my Sableye. He comes in, he switches out, brings in back the Politoed, and I go for the Will-O-Wisp. I should have known that he was going to switch out. Why didn't I think of that before? Because maybe I could have did a Thunder Wave instead and made it a little better, but I figured myself, I'll just go see how it is, and maybe things are going to get better. So I switched out actually for first. I usually don't like switching, but I had to keep my 30 Mile for a reason. So anyways, I'm switching into my Luna and a crit already? Like, I'm already starting mad. So I really didn't know if I was going to use another Calm Mind because if it already took almost 200 points, it took almost 300 points damage the first time, I wonder how I'm going to do the second time. So realizing the damage was a little too much, and another critical. Whoa. Are you serious? Back-to-back criticals? What kind of a Politoed is this? Is there back-to-back crits? I've never seen that. What's this thing holding? Some type of scope lens or something like that? No, that's probably another item. But anyways, Lupierre's gone. So I said, you know what? I'm gonna try her on your play. But the Encore comes in after I use a Dragon Dance. I'm like, oh come on! I hate being stuck in this. I was going to see what he's gonna do next, but nothing came up, so I'm like, this is not good. I went for yet another Dragon Dance, and it goes for the Skull. I hope, please, Romeo Plank, don't get burned. I saw all the damage. I'm like, did I really want to keep Romeo Plank in after taking over 200 points of damage? I looked at myself and said, no. So I had to think again. Politoed was down to less than 3/4. I said, you know what? I wanna sacrifice 30 Mile in a sense because I really wanted to get a free turn into possibly one of my better Pokemon. And I saw that it took another 200 points of damage just about. But thank goodness for the citrus berry for 30 mile, because I really wanted to get this thing out. But I was hoping that whatever it had was less than 100, but it wasn't. But it was. That's what I was thinking. I was thinking it was not going to get on. So unfortunately, I had to sacrifice 30 mile, but at least it got polytoed down to red. I was hoping it was going to kill itself from the burn damage, but I looked and I said, what is that? Is that like 2, maybe 3 HP left? I was told it was 1. So anyways, I decided to go for the fire dance for Northland. Was hoping to get a special attack boost, but it did not. So I'm like, okay, this is my first Pokemon down, so I'm already down 2. So here comes this bling bling, which is this tentacle. I'm like, great. I said, I know a water type move is coming. I didn't really want to worry about the water type move. I just went for the quiver dance, at least raise that special defense up. I already knew that the skull was coming. The reason why I say I wasn't worried is because I always carry a partial barrier on Northland, because it's usually either water or rocks that come. And since water was up, the partial barrier worked out just good to only get about 100 points of damage. So anyway, I went for a hurricane and automatic confused. I was hoping that it was going to hit itself in its confusion, but it did not. So I guess 30% is kind of random based on everything. I was hoping that it only took 100 points of damage. Something like 200 points probably would have been up. But it might have been 201. Because that's what I think it was. It was 201. But I guess 201 was not enough. So I said, let me try Roman Plank again. I should have known he should have switched. He switched into that doggone Bronzong, and I was like, no way. I was hoping that the Bronzong had fireproof, but then it's water, so I thought about it. I said, oh yeah. I decided to at least get the Bronzong down to at least half or less, so something else can get it if I have a chance. Well, the way things are going, I didn't know if I was gonna have a chance or not. So it went for earthquake. I'm like, great. After the waterfall, I was looking for 1 flinch, at least a flinch. I mean, he got a burn and 2 crits, and I can't get 1 flinch. I didn't get 1 flinch. He goes for the toxin. I'm like, great, more status stuff. This is what I needed Espeon for. But then if the toxic bounces, it wouldn't have affected Bronzong anyway because it's part steel. So things were really, really, really looking funny. So I was hoping it was going to stay in, but it did not. All the switching, like, can I get something right? My prediction at one point was getting way, way off. I was hoping he was going to sack somebody, but that didn't work out. Not in 1 sense. And then I had to deal with those iron barbs. Gee, even after a waterfall, I see iron barbs. So anyways, I was hoping that the earthquake was going to at least bring it down to half. I looked at it, only got 43 HP. I'm like, okay, Romeo Plains got to take down to at least half. It didn't even come close. So the spikes come in. I'm down to 43 HP, but the leftovers going to put me back around 65. Well, that was not going to really worry because I have toxic damage, and that would pretty much take Romeo Plank down. So I am way, way behind. I am down 5-1. My last chance is Henry Ruff. I'm like, yep, I am not gonna win. So I just did a random dragon dance. I'm like, yeah, he's gonna go for the power whip, and that would be pretty much a good game there. He went for the leech seed. I was like, okay, is he whittling down the HP to that much? Well, I had to think about like let me see, because I was a little worried that I was going to be protected and switched over back and forth in order to get anything, but I went for a high jump kick. I already knew that I was going to get hurt by an iron box, but I just wanted to take at least something out, and it did. So Feral Thorn is gone, and that the +1 in attack, +1 in speed. Now that +1 attack goes up to +2 thanks to the Moxie, and I was like, okay. So he brings in this Vol, that's his Gliscor. He went for Protect. I was like, great. I should have went for another Dragon Age because I should have predicted that, but you know, my prediction is also funny when it comes down to random teams anyway. So I'm getting flipped over by Lee Seed again, and I decided I was going to try high jump kick, but I said no, because if it switched, anything that it take would have took at least half damage. So I went for another Ice Punch, and it took Gliscor all the way down to nothing. So that +2 attack is going up to +3, and +3 everything gets taken off, because here comes Tentacle again. I'm like, okay. I'm like, I really have a chance of doing this? I used for Crunch, Tentacle is gone. I said no way. The only other 2 Pokemon he has left are Steel types. So that means I'm going to get at least neutral damage. And that comes to play when he brings out his LUV, which is Jirachi. I'm like, this high jump kick better hit. It hit. And when I saw Jirachi going down, I just looked at myself. I didn't believe this. I came back for 5-1. And we're tied at 1. The only other Pokemon left is his Bronzong. And he was already down to less than half. That meant this Crunch was going to be the catalyst in this game winning for Henry Ruff. Ruff, I don't believe you did this. Came back from 5-1 to win the game for me. And LUV was just a shot. Hey, I'm just a shot as well. Very, very good game to LUV. Rate, comment, subscribe, people. Skyfire scene, have a nice day. See you next time.